Hello, everyone. On today's podcast, I'm going to talk about secrecy and the need for secrecy. You know, you know, Many times in my life, I get asked a lot of questions about myself. And every time I usually tend to downplay it. For example, if someone asks me how much money I make, I usually tell them something very low, like, I'm not making that much money, or I'm not making any money at all, or don't worry about it. I try to sidestep the question or try to downplay the question. Do you know why? It's because I've learned over the years that being able to hide yourself is actually very, very beneficial for you. Most people think that it's better to show off, to let people know how much money you have, how much, let instead of telling people how much money you have, tell them how, lie to them, tell them you make a lot more money than you actually make. And if you're someone who already makes a lot of money, tell them exactly how much money you make, to wow them, to let them know how great of a person you are. But you don't know what you're doing there. When you tell people how great of a person you are, or when you tell people how much your value, when you tell people your value, how great you are, if they think you're more valuable than they are, they become jealous of you. If they think you're more valuable than they are, they become greedy. If you tell people how much money you make, it makes them greedy. It makes them very jealous. And jealous people start to do weird things around you. You can lose friends just from jealousy alone. You can lose friends just for them being jealous of you. And the more jealous they are, the quicker it is for them to start to hate you. You know. So in order to have a sense of freedom, you must always hide yourself. Hide aspects of yourself that you don't want the world to know. For example, one of the things you really don't want the world to know is how much money you make. Other things you don't want the world to know is, what skills, how valuable your skills are, your connections, your family connection, how powerful you are, things like that. You don't want people to know things that'll make them jealous of you. Yes, I know most people think most people have probably told you in the past that you should try to make people jealous of you. You should try to make your haters jealous of you. You're not doing what you think you're doing. You think you're making them afraid of you. You think they're making them respect you. You're doing the opposite of that. You're making them jealous of you. Jealous people start to do weird things around you. Jealous people, you can look at the news. There's so many people getting killed all over the place. So many people getting robbed every single day, all over the country. Have you checked? Every city in the United States is completely filled with crimes. It's baffling how many crimes actually occur in the United States every day. I know most people think, when you look around, you don't really see that many crimes happening. The only crimes you see are the ones on CNN. Those are the major crimes. If you actually have like a news app, right, or you watch the news a lot, you watch those news apps, you can tune it to your city. You can tune it to any city in your country. You can even tune it to any city in the world. If you tune it to a city, you find out that each city has endless articles filled with crimes every single day. Just the crimes in one city alone, can amount to like 50 in just one day alone. That's how much trouble, people get themselves in. Constantly arguing with people, constantly showing them how valuable they are. If you keep telling your enemies how valuable you are, or how much more valuable you are than they are, guess what is going to happen to you? They're going to try to steal from you. They're going to try to kill you and take it from you. And you don't know who's your enemy. You think your friends are your enemy. You think only outsiders, people you don't know, are your enemies. When the truth is, do you know that there's a statistic that shows that you're more likely to be harmed, you're more likely to be killed by people you know, right, than people you don't know? Yes, it's a statistic that shows that you're more likely to be harmed. You're more likely to have a crime done against you by someone you know than someone you don't know. Meaning, the people you're showing off to are more likely to harm you than the people that you think are going to harm you. You think a random stranger, you buy a gun, you think a random stranger is going to, thinking that a random stranger is going to come to your house and steal from you. Not knowing you're buying a gun, not knowing that your parents, your family members, your cousin, your aunts, one of these people, or your best friend, one of your friends, or one of the people around your friends are the one that's going to steal from you. You'll invite them to your house and then they use your own weapon to kill you. I just read a video. Well, it's an article, but it's on TikTok where it shows that Marvin Gaye was killed by his own father. Marvin Gaye was killed by his own father. And the worst part of it is Marvin Gaye was killed by his own father using the gun, using the very weapon that he bought for his father. Marvin Gaye bought the weapon that killed him, and he gave it to the father, the person that killed him. So while you're afraid of, you showing off to your friends and family members, thinking they won't be jealous of you, just know these are the people that will, that are more likely to kill you than anybody else. The people you show off to, your friends and family, you want them to be jealous, right? The more you make them jealous, the higher the chance of them trying to steal from you. The higher the chance of them hating you. The higher the chance of them trying to rob you. I've also read an article like a few weeks ago, a few months ago, where there was a guy who won like $100,000. No, he was given $100,000 for being a good citizen. He did something. He saved someone or did something, and he was awarded like $200,000 or something like that. Within I think it was around $200,000, and then within that week he was given the money. Within the week he was given the money, he was kidnapped by his own nephew. He was kidnapped by his own nephew and a group of people, and then killed and had the money stolen from him. This is the life we live in. This life is very dangerous, so you have to be careful who you're dealing with. All these things you keep showing off to people are going to come back and bite you in the butt in the future. If you don't know how to lay low and not show people why they should rob you, every time you show off your wealth, you're telling people, you're giving people reasons why they should rob you. Every time you show off your talents, you're giving people why they should harm you, why they should take your talent from you. Do you know when a lion hunts, right? When a lion hunts, it hides itself. It makes itself look worthless in front of the eyes of its prey. It'll make itself look small, worthless, and insignificant. It makes itself look useless and worthless. That way, the prey itself never finds out that behind that worthless and useless creature that's hiding in the darkness somewhere, that's hidden down there, far in the distance, is a very dangerous predator that will kill him within a few seconds. And that's how you need to behave. You need to behave like a lion that's hiding itself. You do not want people to know who you are. You do not want people to know everything about you. You must always hide yourself. Otherwise, when jealousy sets in, when greed sets in, you're going to be the biggest target. You're going to be the biggest targets of the thieves around you, the family members around you that are thieves, that are greedy, that are violent, that are cruel, the ones that hate you that you don't even know they hate you. You're going to be the target sooner or later if you keep showing them how great you are. If you keep showing them how powerful you are, sooner or later, these people will come and harm you. They'll try to steal from you. They'll try to kill you out of jealousy, out of hatred, out of, greed. There's so many things that can happen to you the moment you start showing off in front of others. And one of them is jealousy. And jealousy can fuel hatred. It can fuel greed. It can fuel anger. There's so many things that can happen to you when you start showing off to people. So the best thing, if you want to live a good life, if you don't want to live a life where you're always afraid of people trying to kill you, trying to steal from you, is to hide your wealth. There's so many rich folks going to different countries, wearing extremely expensive clothing. They do it in the United States, and many times they get away with it because the thieves are too afraid, of getting caught, of not being able to spend the money before the cops get them to rob you. But that's only some people. Some people, it's not common for thieves to come rob you unless they know you. But if as someone who has a lot of money, if you keep showing your wealth, you go to places where, the cops aren't as feared, right? People aren't as feared of the government coming after them for stealing from you. If you go show your wealth around places, impoverished places, showing off that you have so much money, you're better than everybody. It's only a matter of time that you get robbed and killed. It's only a matter of time that you get kidnapped and then taken for ransom. So if you make that a habit of always showing off, there's so many rich folks that have gone to that go missing every single year. When every time they visit, other countries, because they keep thinking, they live in the United States or they live in more developed countries. They live in countries where there are less criminals. Well, there's less criminals, so they think it's they never it doesn't even cross their mind that people will rob and kill them just for the piece of clothing that they have. People will rob and kill you just for $10. Just $10 alone is enough for someone to kill you. Yet you're here where you're showing off $100,000 clothing outfits, $100,000 outfits, and you're walking at places where people only make $50,000 a year. What do you think will happen to you if you show off things that they're way too expensive, and you keep walking around places where people don't even make $50,000 a year? $20,000 a year is pretty much the highest you can find, and you here wearing $1 million outfits. You wear you're driving $1 million cars. You're driving expensive things. What do you think is going to happen to you? Do you think these people are just going to let you go? You're a walking piggy bank. You're a bank. You're walking money. You're walking money. If they don't capture you and steal from you, what do you think they'll do? What do you expect them to do? Do you expect them to just watch you, walk around them like the fattest, juiciest steak, like the fattest, juiciest piece of meat in the world, and just let you just walk off? No. If they know how much money, your clothing is worth, how much money you're worth, if they recognize you as someone who's rich, because there's a lot of wealthy people that go to poor, impoverished places showing off that, hey, I'm Bill Gates, I'm this, I'm that, I'm Donald Trump, not even thinking that these people will kidnap you right away. If they know exactly how valuable you are, they will kidnap you and torture you and try to get as much money from you. So if you keep showing off, if you keep making the habit of showing off, it's only a matter of time before your friends or family rob from you, or a random stranger comes and try to kill you and take your wealth from you. This is the life we live in. The sharpest tool in the shed the sharpest pencil gets used the most. The sharpest pencil gets used the most. If you show yourself off as the sharpest pencil, guess what will happen? Many people will try to use you. That's what will happen to you. If you keep showing off as the sharpest pencil, around, you'll be used. There's so many phrases there's so many quotes that says the same thing. The sharpest pencil gets used. The dullest tools get sharpened. If you become the dullest tool, as long as you show a character within yourself that's more valuable or that's more unique than everyone else, guess what? You're drawing attention to yourself. You're drawing attention to yourself, attention that you don't want. You think all attention, all publicity is good publicity, but you're wrong. There's bad publicity. There's a reason why fame and infamy are not the same thing. There's a reason why they have different definitions. Fame makes people worship you. Makes people, it makes people respect you. Infamy makes people want to kill you. That's the difference. If you think infamy and fame are the same, they're not. Infamy makes people want to kill you. And the greatest way to draw infamy is to make people jealous. Trying to make people jealous, instead of bringing fame, will bring infamy to your doorstep. Will make people hate you. So if you live a life where you want people to hate you, guess what will happen to you? You end up like Marvin Gaye. You end up like all these celebrities that end up getting killed by their fans. They end up getting killed by random strangers. You may think, hey, I live in a developed country. There's no way that happened to me. Do you know how many cops are getting arrested every year for bad behavior? The very cops that you think are harmless, won't do anything, are the ones here to help you. If these cops hate your guts, right, they will stage a robbery and try to rob you. You know what's worse than being robbed by random strangers or being robbed by a friend? Is being robbed by cops. Do you know why? Who would you call if the cops stage a robbery, right? They call people. They stage a robbery. They have their friends and family steal from you. Who are you going to call to investigate. You're gonna call the cops, right? And guess what? When you call the cops, since they're the ones driving for you, do you think they'll do a good job investigating it? Nope. So you have to understand that when you gain infamy, you even the people that even the people that you call upon on for help will turn their backs on you. The people that you call upon on for help may be the people you don't want in your life. If the cops hate you, and they end up being the one that try to kill you or they're trying to rob you, guess what? You calling the cops does the opposite, doesn't it? It makes them bury your secret. They will kill you. Your parents will call the cops. Your family members will call the cops, and then the cops will bury the whole case. They'll tell you that they couldn't find the guy, or they'll just bring a fall guy and have that guy arrested. You know, and then like a few months later, a few years later, like a year later, they give him probation and bring him back out. That's all they'll do. You'll be killed for nothing. This is what gaining infamy does for you. If you keep going the route where you think I'm gonna make them jealous. Oh, I'm gonna show them how much money I have. They need to know how much money I have. This is a path that will always hurt you. It will always come back to bite you in the butt later on. Your friends will become so jealous of you they'll no longer like you. And the moment they no longer like you, guess what'll happen? They'll try to steal from you. They'll try to steal from you. They'll try to kill you. Their hatred or their greed will fuel them to harm you in the future. This is the life you try to get to. If you keep showing off in front of friends, if you keep trying to make yourself look better than them, guess what will happen? Sooner or later, they'll start to hate you. They'll start to hate you for trying to appear better than them. They don't like people who are better than them. People get jealous and greedy the moment something valuable appears before their very eyes. People become greedy. They want it. You think Bill Gates will not, someone rich like Bill Gates or Donald Trump or Elon Musk, you think they don't have any desire for money anymore because they already have so much money, but you're wrong. Even if a billionaire only has $1 billion and you keep showing up $1 million in front of him, he'll become greedy for that $1 million. You know why? Because if he can kill and rob you, before he had $1 billion, but if he can kill and rob you, he'll have $1 billion and 1 million. He'll have an extra $1 million to do whatever he wants with. You may not value that $1 million because it's only $1 million, but he values that $1 million. He thinks that $1 million is very valuable. You may think Elon Musk is the most richest person in the world. He doesn't value $1 billion anymore. You're wrong. $1 billion is still $1 billion. In his eyes, just as he values $1 billion, that's how much he values $1 billion. He may even value it more than you. You know why? Because he knows how much $1 billion is worth. From the point of view of someone who's poorer, someone who only has like $100,000, make $100,000 a year, $1 million and $1 billion may not be that much of a difference in his eyes. You may not even think that there's that much of a difference because he hasn't spent $1 million before. He doesn't know the value of $1 million. He doesn't know the real value of 10 million, 100 million, or even $1 billion. So from the point of view of someone who's poorer, right? $1 billion or $1 million, it's all the same. It's retirement money. That's what you call it. You call it retirement money. You call it a day. If you have $1 million, you have $10 million, or you have $1 million. What's the difference between the two? You have $1 million. You can spend. You can use it to buy whatever you want. But from the point of view of Elon Musk, he spends that money all the time, so he knows exactly how much you can gain from that money. He knows exactly how much that money is worth. So in his eyes, that money holds more value than in your eyes. So if you keep showing up $10,000 or $50,000 in the eyes in front of a billionaire, thinking, hey, he has $1 billion, he won't be jealous of me. You're wrong. $50,000 is still $50,000. $10,000 is still $10,000. The things you can buy with $10,000 are still valuable. Just because it has $500 billion or $1 trillion doesn't matter. The things you can buy with $5,000 are still valuable. Even $20 can get you some of the most delicious meals in the world. Just $20. Don't you think someone, if you can have an extra $20 to buy a delicious meal, don't you think Bill Gates would take that $20 just to buy that delicious meal that he really wanted? Why would he spend his own money when he can take yours? Think about it. Why would he spend his own money when he can take yours? That's what you have to think. The mindset of billionaires isn't, oh, I'm rich, so I'm satisfied. No, it's, why would I spend my money when I can spend yours? So if you keep showing off your money in front of rich folks or in front of anyone, you think, many people think, oh, I just stay away from poor people and just start, hanging around rich folks. I'm not. They're not going to steal from me because they're rich just like me. You're wrong. If you keep showing your wealth in front of people, it's only a matter of time for them to rob you, whether they're rich or poor. The greed will still be there. The desire for your wealth will still be there, even if it's only $1. If you show off $1 in front of the richest person in the world, and you keep making it, you keep showing all the cool things you can buy with that $1. Guess what? That person will want to steal that money from you. He may not do it, but the desire will be there to have that $1. That $1 is more valuable. Not everyone has that desire, but there are too many people with that desire within them for you not to be cautious in life. There are too many people getting killed, showing off their wealth. There are too many people getting robbed, showing off their wealth all over the world, that, it should teach you something. Showing off your wealth only brings harm to your doorstep. Showing off your value only brings harm to your doorstep. Even if 2 out of 10 people, if there's only 2 out of 10 people that harm you for your wealth, right? That's still 2 people that harm you. Death is death. Whether it's 10 people killing you, or it's 2 people killing you, or it's 1 person killing you, you will still die. The vast majority of people may not harm you for your wealth, but there's still a percentage of people there that will still harm you for your wealth. So if you're not cautious of these people, because hey, there aren't that many of them, well, guess what? It doesn't have to be that many of them to kill you. You don't need 50 bullets to shoot you before you die. All you need is one. You don't even need a gun to kill you. Just one knife is enough to kill you. Just a single knife. You don't even need a knife to kill you. Just a few punches is enough to kill you. So don't think about, hey, there are only a few of them, so I don't really have to worry about my life. You only have one life. And it's so easy for people to take it away from you. So if you keep showing off your wealth in front of others, it's only a matter of time that people come to your doorstep. People you don't want, and the worst part of it is people you will never think will try to harm you. Your friends and family members, the people around you are the people that are more likely to harm you than anybody else. You hear word about strangers trying to kill you, when statistically the person that's more likely to harm you is a person you know. It's a person you know. So if you keep going around thinking that it's the people outside that's trying to harm me, and you keep showing off your wealth around the people around you, you keep trying to make them jealous. You're not trying to make them jealous. What you're trying to do is you're actually trying to make them hate you. You're trying to make them, they'll start to think you're trying to act like as if you're better than them. If you keep acting as if you're better than them, it's only a matter of time. It is only a matter of time before they try to harm you for it. It's only a matter of time before they try to harm you for it. So you have to be careful in life, But that's it for this podcast. I got to get something to eat. See ya.